Okay, so as in the last video, we have seen the work of antidiuretic hormone, which was released by posterior pituitary gland from hypothalamus of the brain. We have seen work of that, like how it was helping to reabsorb the water to the paratibular capillaries. Alright, so in today's lecture, we are going to answer a very important question, which is how urine is concentrated or diluted in kidney. Alright. So let me write here the question first. We have the question, which is what? How urine is concentrated? How urine is concentrated or diluted in kidney. Alright, here I have written the question as well. As you can see here, how urine is concentrated or diluted in the kidney. Alright, so for that I need to make here the diagram of the kidney, not kidney but the nephron. Alright, so we are going with our first case, which is if you take 4 jugs of water. Alright, then what will happen? Like the urine which will be passed out by the body will be concentrated or diluted if you are taking 4 jugs of water. Alright, so here I am writing the case. So what's the case here? Alright, we are writing the case here. What's the case? In case you drink 4 jugs of water, you drank 4 jugs of water. Alright, then let's see what will gonna happen. So let's make here the diagram. Okay, so here I'm going to make the diagram of the nephron so that I can tell you what will gonna happen here. Here we have Bowman's capsule. Now we have PCT. This is PCT. Alright, and here we have descending loop of Henle. This is descending loop of Henle. Here we'll have ascending loop of Henle. This is what? This is ascending loop of Henle, and here we'll have DCT. So this is the DCT, and ultimately here we'll have our collecting duct. Alright, here we'll have collecting duct. So let me make here the glomerulus. I should make with this. So this is the afferent arteriole, then this is converting into capillaries for the filtration, then ultimately here is our efferent arteriole. Alright, so wait, let me label these all now. This is Bowman's capsule, alright, this is glomerulus, this is PCT, this is descending loop of Henle, and it is what? It is permeable to the water, but it is not permeable to the ions. Alright, this is permeable to water, and impermeable to ions. Alright, and what this is DLH, means descending loop of Henle. This is LH, means loop of Henle. This is ALH, which means ascending loop of Henle. And here this would be permeable to the ions but impermeable to the water. So this is what permeable to ions and impermeable to water. Alright, this would be impermeable to the water. Here we have DCT, and here ultimately what we have, collecting duct. Collecting duct. Alright, here I have labeled this structure as well. Now what is happening? As we know that in the glomerulus we do have osmolarity of blood which is 300 osmol per liter. Alright, and here the filtration is happening. Here basically what? Filtration is happening. So now here we have the water, which I am making with this color. Here we have water now, H2O. Here we have water now. Alright, when this water will come to the PCT, the osmolarity of the blood would be same. Alright, that would be same. And that would be what? That would be 300 osmol per liter. Alright, but from here the water will be reabsorbed to the paratubular capillaries. Alright, and how much water will be reabsorbed? 70 to 80% water will be reabsorbed. So here let me write this, 70 to 80% water would be reabsorbed. Alright, so when this blood, like now let me tell you here important thing. Alright, the filtration not the reabsorption which is done from the PCT to the paratubular capillary, that is obligatory reabsorption. Now what is obligatory reabsorption? Obligatory reabsorption means the reabsorption which has to be done. Anyhow it has to be done. So this reabsorption is what we call the obligatory reabsorption. So from the PCT, the water has to be reabsorbed. Anyhow, either the water is low or water is high in the nephron, but it has to be reabsorbed from the PCT. So that reabsorption is what we call the obligatory reabsorption. So now this water would go down now, alright, to the descending loop of Henle. Now we know that the descending loop of Henle is permeable to the water, but this is impermeable to the ions. So from here the water will be gone out. Alright, water will be gone out. So if water will be gone out, so the concentration of ions will be higher here. Alright, so concentration of ions will be higher here. And what that would be, like basically if there is 300, so there would be 4, 500, 600, 700 and ultimately 800. Then again here 900, 1000, 1100 and ultimately here what we have, 1200. Alright, so the osmolarity in the blood now in the loop of Henle is what? It is 1200. Now when it will go up from the ascending loop of Henle, as we know that ascending loop of Henle is permeable to the ions, but this is not permeable to the water. Alright, so here the ions would go out. Here all ions would go out, out, out. And when these ions all will be going out, so here the concentration of ions would be low. Alright, so here for suppose if it is 1200, so ions are going out now. So here it would be 1100, then 1000, then 900, then 800, then 700, then here we have 600, then again 5, 4, 3, and here ultimately reaching to the DCT, we have the osmolarity in the blood that is 300 osmol per liter now. Alright, So here I am making the DCT cell, which are known as what? They are cuboidal epithelial. But here we have modified version which are macula densa. So here we have cells. Alright. So now in this case, if you are drinking four jugs of water, alright, so here the DCT would be impermeable to the water. DCT and collecting duct. Wait, let me make here the cells of collecting duct as well. Here I am making. So these are the cells of what? These are the cells of collecting duct. Alright, so here what will be happening here, DCT and collecting duct will be impermeable to the water. As I told you, DCT and collecting duct are either permeable to the water and or they are impermeable to the water. In some conditions they are permeable to the water, like when your body has no water and it has to be reabsorbed from the DCT. So at that time DCT and collecting duct will be permeable to the water, and we will be talking about that in the case if you are lost in desert and you have not drank water. We'll be talking about that as well, but here we are talking about the condition in which you have drank 4 jugs of H2O, which means water. So here DCT and collecting duct will be impermeable to the water, so that the water cannot be reabsorbed and more diluted urine can be passed out through the body. Alright, more and more diluted urine can be passed out through the body. So this is urine. Alright, so here DCT and collecting duct will be impermeable to the water, so that more and more water can be not reabsorbed, but the more and more urine can be passed out through the body. Alright, so now we are going with our second case, which is what? In which you are lost in the desert, and what will happen then? Then ADH will be released. As we talked about ADH in yesterday's lecture, ADH was antidiuretic hormone which was putting aquaporins in the cells of the collecting duct, so that more and more water can be reabsorbed. In that case, DCT and collecting duct will be what? They will be permeable to the water, so that more and more water can be reabsorbed and concentrated urine can be passed out through the body. Alright, so here I am writing this down. I am not going to make this diagram again, because as I have already told you this thing, so I'm just going to write here. So here we have second case. In case you get lost in desert, then what happens? Then ADH is released, which is antidiuretic hormone is released from where it is released? From the posterior pituitary gland, from the hypothalamus of the brain, and it inserts what? It inserts aquaporins. Alright, here I am writing with this color, aquaporins, as I told you the whole process yesterday. Alright, this insert aquaporins, this words aquaporins, or these are also known as small proteins. Alright, so that more and more water starts to go out of this aquaporin, so that they can be reabsorbed. Alright, water can be reabsorbed. So this was the second case in which you were lost in the desert and you were not having water in your body. So what is done? ADH is released, which is antidiuretic hormone from the pituitary gland, posterior pituitary gland, from the hypothalamus of the brain. And that ADH works on the cells of the collecting duct and DCT, so that more and more water can be reabsorbed, and it puts small proteins which are also known as aquaporins. Alright, so how is urine concentrated? So concentration of urine is because of high concentration of ions in medulla. Alright, so as you can see here, this is the medulla here. Sorry, let me tell you this thing. We have a loop of Henle that is in medulla, but that glomerulus, Bowman's capsule, PCT, DCT and collecting duct are where these are situated in the cortex. Alright, we know that what is cortical region of the kidney and what is medullary region of the kidney. So in medulla, only loop of Henle, including both ascending loop of Henle as well as descending loop of Henle, and we do have Bowman's capsule, glomerulus, PCT, DCT and collecting duct in the cortex of the kidney. Alright, so concentration of urine is because of high concentration of ions in the medulla. As you know that when we are going to the medulla, the concentration of ions is having greater and greater. So high concentration of ions is because of counter current mechanism or urea cycling. So we will be discussing about counter current mechanism in tomorrow's class, but here let me give you a small overview of that, what is happening here. So how is urine concentrated? Alright, how is urine concentrated? So we do have two types or two processes, 1 and 2. Initially I am going to tell you the second one by the ADH, which is antidiuretic hormone, because in the antidiuretic hormone what is happening in the anti-diuretic hormone is released, it is working on the cells of PCT and distal not PCT but on the collecting duct cell and distal convoluted tubule, so that more and more water can be reabsorbed. And if water is reabsorbing, then the ions concentration is getting higher in the urine. Alright, so it is getting higher in the urine, so urine would be concentrated that time. Alright, and here we do have high medullary ion concentration. Alright, and here we have two further types of these. Alright, two further types of this. So here we'll be talking about how the ions accumulated. Alright, and here we have again two types of these as well. This will happen with the help of CC multiplication, which is counter current multiplication, and secondly it is done by the urea cycling. Alright, and in here what we have how the concentration is maintained then. Alright, concentration is maintained. So that is maintained by the CC exchange, which is counter current exchange. Alright, so in tomorrow's class we'll be going with the counter current mechanism. So this was all for today.